Okay, so I think Americans for a long time have been psychologically conditioned to look for a political savior to their problems. And then both parties are, controlled by the same people ultimately at the end of the day. At least the vast majority of the parties are. I mean, sometimes you have like people that sort of sneak in there who are sort of renegades occasionally, but there's not many of them. And I don't really know how much influence they really have besides, making useful clips on C-SPAN that are then put on social media where they say things that are true and accurate. I mean, how much can they really do if they're just one person and, how many people are in the Congress and the Senate, so that's definitely a small minority. But, in general, the RNC and the DNC are very controlled. And so you're basically having people looking, as long as we vote for this person, they'll fix the country and everything's fine. And how many decades now have people been saying that? And look where we are now, because regardless of who's in office, they follow the same shit. They do the same policies. They start the same wars. Yeah, okay, Trump, to his credit, started less wars, but he also continued like drone bombings and stuff like that all over the world. I mean, it's not exactly like he was an anti-war president. Maybe he didn't start any new wars, but he continued wars like in Syria and stuff that his predecessor had started. So, I mean, and that's just one example with like foreign policy. There's a lot of other stuff that doesn't get fixed, doesn't get addressed. One of those are the intelligence agencies that are out of control. Another one of those would be bringing Wall Street to heel, or, bankers in general, whether in the private sector or central bankers. Nothing really happens to them when they do things that are inappropriate or not in the best interest of Americans. So, it's very complicated, the political situation, but part of it is, I think, because of this psychology where we feel like the only way we can have any voice or any agency in our own country is to vote for one of two parties.